We've all seen the news reports. Hurricanes, earthquakes, floods. When disaster strikes, time is of the essence. You won't have the luxury of leisurely strolling through supermarket aisles. Those shelves will be empty quicker than a cheetah on the savannah. That's why it's so important to have a stockpile of essential supplies on hand, ready to go at a moment's notice. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 13 most important items you need to stockpile right now. These are the things that will disappear from store shelves faster than a mirage in the desert when disaster strikes. So grab a pen and paper, folks. This is information you'll want to remember. Liquid lifeline: why water should be your top priority. First things first, we need to talk about water. It's the most essential element for survival. You can go without food for a surprisingly long time, but water is a different story. Aim to store at least 1 gallon of water per person, per day. But don't stop there. Consider investing in a water filtration system. That way, even if your stored water runs low, you can collect and purify water from other sources, like rivers, streams, or even rainwater. And here's a little tip from my own survival kit: water purification tablets. Trust me, when you're desperate for a sip of clean water, these tablets will be worth their weight in gold. Become the baker: why flour power is essential. Let's face it, when the going gets tough, those supermarket shelves are going to be stripped bare pretty quickly. And one of the first things to go: bread. But fear not, my friend, because I'm going to let you in on a little secret: wheat berries. These little nuggets of goodness can last for years if stored properly, and they're the key to baking your own bread. With a bit of practice, anyone can become a master baker. And in a survival situation, those freshly baked loaves will be a godsend. To make the most of your wheat berries, you'll need a trusty hand mill. It's a good idea to get some practice in with your hand mill now, so you're not fumbling around with it when you're under pressure. Cracking the code: egg-excellent alternatives for protein. Eggs are a fantastic source of protein, but they don't last forever in their shells. That's where powdered eggs come in. Powdered eggs have an incredibly long shelf life and can be easily reconstituted with a little water. They might not be the most glamorous breakfast option, but in a pinch, they'll provide you with that much-needed protein boost. They're easy to store, easy to transport, and they pack a serious nutritional punch. Plus, they can be used in a variety of recipes, from scrambled eggs to omelets to pancakes. So don't underestimate the humble powdered egg. It could be your secret weapon in a survival situation. Just imagine, while everyone else is struggling to find food, you'll be enjoying a breakfast of champions. Milking it: long-lasting dairy solutions. Milk is another one of those everyday essentials that can be hard to come by in an emergency. Fresh milk is out of the question, but thankfully, there are long-lasting alternatives. Powdered milk is a great option for long-term storage. It has a long shelf life and can be easily reconstituted with water. If you're looking for something with a slightly shorter shelf life but a more normal milk taste, UHT milk is the way to go. UHT stands for ultra-high temperature, and it's a process that sterilizes the milk, giving it a shelf life of up to 6 months without refrigeration. Just make sure you store it in a cool, dry place. Can-do attitude: embrace the power of canned goods. Canned food is a prepper's best friend. It lasts for ages, it's relatively inexpensive, and it can provide you with a surprisingly varied diet. Stock up on canned fruits, vegetables, soups, beans, meats, fish. The possibilities are endless. Just make sure you rotate your stock regularly to ensure everything stays fresh. When choosing canned goods, it's important to consider your nutritional needs. Look for items that are high in protein, fiber, and essential vitamins and minerals. And don't forget about flavor. Just because you're prepping for an emergency doesn't mean you have to eat bland food. And here's a pro tip: don't forget a can opener. Power up batteries: the unsung heroes of emergencies. In a power outage, batteries are your lifeline to the outside world. They power your flashlights, your radios, your communication devices, basically everything you need to stay informed and connected. Stock up on a variety of sizes, from AA to D batteries, and don't forget about those less commonly used sizes like 9-volt and button batteries. Store your batteries in a cool, dry place, away from direct sunlight and heat sources. Extreme temperatures can shorten their lifespan. It's also a good idea to check the expiration dates on your batteries periodically and replace any that are nearing their expiration date. The ability to power your essential devices could be the difference between life and death. so don't underestimate the humble battery. Let there be light, illuminating your path in darkness. When the grid goes down, you're going to need a reliable source of light. And I'm not just talking about a single flashlight. You want a variety of lighting options, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. A sturdy flashlight is a must-have, of course, but consider adding headlamps and lanterns to your arsenal as well. Headlamps are fantastic for hands-free illumination, which is essential if you're trying to navigate your way through a dark house or perform tasks that require both hands. And don't forget about alternative power sources. Solar-powered lights and crank-powered lights are fantastic options that don't rely on batteries. The hum of survival generators. Powering your essentials. A generator can be a lifesaver in a prolonged power outage. It can keep your essential appliances running, like your refrigerator, your freezer, and even your heating system. But before you rush out and buy the first generator you see, there are a few things you need to consider. First, you need to determine what wattage you need. This will depend on the appliances you want to run. Second, you need to think about fuel. Most generators run on gasoline or propane, so you'll need to factor that into your storage plans. A generator is a significant investment, but it's one that can pay off big time in an emergency. Fueling the fire gas, propane, and the importance of stabilizers. We've already talked about the importance of having a generator, but a generator is useless without fuel. Gasoline and propane are the two most common types of generator fuel, and it's a good idea to have a supply of both on hand. Gasoline has a shelf life of about 6 months, but you can extend that lifespan with a fuel stabilizer. Propane, on the other hand, has an indefinite shelf life, making it a great option for long-term storage. Just make sure you store your propane tanks properly in a well-ventilated area away from heat sources. And it's not just generators that need fuel. If you have a gas grill, you'll need propane for that as well. Wood isn't just for building houses. In a disaster situation, it can be used for a multitude of purposes. Plywood, for example, is incredibly versatile. It can be used to board up windows, patch holes in roofs, and even build makeshift shelters. Reinforcing wood like 2x4s and 4x4s is also essential. It can be used to strengthen structures that have been damaged, create supports for sagging roofs, and even build furniture for your makeshift shelter. And let's not forget about the humble firewood. The power of plastic tarps and sheeting, your first line of defense. Tarps and plastic sheeting are two of the most versatile items you can have in your survival arsenal. They can be used for everything from patching holes in roofs to collecting rainwater to creating makeshift shelters. A tarp can be quickly and easily rigged up as a temporary shelter, providing you with protection from the sun, wind, and rain. Plastic sheeting is also incredibly useful. It can be used to seal up windows and doors, preventing drafts and keeping your home warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer. Pause for thought. Don't forget your furry family members. In the chaos of a disaster, it's easy to forget about our furry family members, but our pets are just as vulnerable as we are, if not more so. They rely on us for food, water, and shelter, and it's our responsibility to make sure they're taken care of. Just like you, your pet needs a supply of food and water. Stock up on at least 2 weeks' worth of food and water for each pet, and don't forget about any medications your pet takes. If you have to evacuate your home, make sure you have a plan for your pet. The unmentionables, toilet paper, and other hygiene essentials. It might seem silly, but toilet paper is one of those things that disappears from store shelves the second disaster strikes. And trust me, you don't want to be caught short. Stock up on a few extra packs of toilet paper, and while you're at it, grab some extra soap, hand sanitizer, and other hygiene essentials. In a disaster situation, maintaining good hygiene is essential for preventing the spread of disease. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water, or use hand sanitizer if soap and water aren't available, and be sure to dispose of waste properly. So there you have it, folks. Those are the 13 essential items you need to stockpile before they disappear. Remember, being prepared is not about being paranoid, it's about being responsible. It's about taking control of your destiny and ensuring that you and your loved ones are ready to face whatever challenges come your way. Now, I know I haven't covered everything. Every situation is unique, and what works for one person might not work for another. So I want to hear from you. What are your essential survival items? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more survival tips and tricks.